You know by now that I love second-generation Camaros. And Joey Gray in Arcadia, North Carolina, has built a huge business restoring just 1970 to 1973 Camaros from the ground up. He and his small crew do fantastic work. Let's have a look. Joey, how old were you when you got your first Camaro?
I was 16 years old actually when I got my first Camaro. Yeah, it was a 1973 Z28. It was black. It was a striped elite car actually. Yeah.
And how long did you have it?
I had it probably 2 years, and then when I turned 18, of course, graduated from high school, I ended up getting a 69 Z28 Camaro, which I still have today. And it was rally green with white interior.
So how did you go from Camaro owner to restoring Camaros?
Well, actually, I did a 1972 Z28 Camaro. It was white with white interior, and I took it to some shows, mainly Super Chevy shows, and the car did very well. It won several awards, and I had a guy come up to me and ask me if I would be interested in restoring his 1973 Z28, which is white with a black interior, and I told him that I would, and I ended up restoring his car, and it went to several big shows. Super Chevy, it went to the World of Wheels show, and won like 4 different awards, and that's how it started. And then he was a big collector, and he asked me if I would start doing his cars, and I did, and that's how this thing started.
And how long ago was that?
It was in 1996, 97.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at what stage did your restorations get to the meticulous level of detail to where you get 10 points off at concourse for no front license bracket, or 5 points off if it's not in good condition?
Well, actually, we would go to the Super Chevy shows, and of course, it wasn't, while they was very stringent about judging, it didn't get down to specific details. It was a lot of paint, body lines, and engine cleanliness and stuff like that. Well, in 1998, we ended up taking one of his cars to the Camaro Nationals, which was then being held in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It was actually U.S. Camaro Club is who hosted the show, and the car was scored on a 1,000-point system, and his car scored a 987, and that's where it started at. Then we just progressed on, and we ended up, going to the, full, points detail.
What's hardest to find for these cars?
The hardest thing to me to find today, and on a L78, is the dual snorkel air cleaner, which it was for an L78, LS6 Chevelle, and the radiators. Those are the 2 hardest things to find. And on a 70 Z28, the radiators is the hardest to find.
Are they being reproed?
No, they're not. No reproductions.
And they were specific to the Z28?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about supply chain issues? Are you able to get most of what you need to restore these cars accurately on a timely basis now?
Most everything is pretty much readily available now. I know, during the 2020 when we went through the COVID thing, things were shutting down and parts wasn't as readily available. And if you ordered something like, for example, wiring harnesses, before COVID, we could get wiring harnesses 2 to 3 weeks. Then when COVID hit, wiring harnesses was like 2 to 3 months getting them.
Wow.
The supply chain basically just shut down.
So once I get on your schedule and I drive in here with my rusty old Camaro like the blue one over in the corner, how long before it rolls out of your shop looking like this?
Normally it's about 2 years. And one of the biggest things is the paint today. Painters, they're in such a demand, and we tear a car down and we take it to the paint shop. Normally it takes, 8 to 9 months to get the car back in the paint. Yeah. It's just a very timely thing. And of course, most painters who paint cars for us, they don't only do that, they do insurance work and things like that. So it takes longer.
What about the assembly process? I mean, this car probably started out like that engine and subframe sitting over there, and then everything progressed along: interior, body, rear end.
When the car's in the paint shop, Bart and I normally will be working on the subframe, the rear end, of course the motor. We send it out to have the motors built, and normally they're gone, 4 to 5 months. So we try to have things down where when the car comes back from the paint shop, we have a lot of this stuff done. The subframe done, the rear end, the motor and transmission setting as that one there is, setting in the frame, and that moves the time, the time along quicker.
Okay.
So we got everything ready. This is a 1970 Z28. It is a numbers matching car. It's a turbo 400 car, which is kind of unusual for us. We normally do 4-speed cars, but it's a turbo 400 transmission car. And it's also got the NA9 emissions on it. That was part of a California emission system that was put on cars in 1970 that were sold in California. And this car is going to be going to the Camaro Nationals in July and will be judged in the Legends judging class, and again on the 5,000 point judging system.
Joey, what kind of difference in approach do you have for a car that's headed to the Camaro Nationals versus something someone just wants to have fun with?
Well, if someone wants to build just a driver car, then we don't have to worry about all the components being numbers matching and dated to the car. That's one of the biggest things. Doing a driver car, you can go up to Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone and get a part for it, versus on a Legends car, everything has to be GM and dated to the car. Basically, we're using all GM parts on a Legends car versus repo.
So Joey's right arm and left arm too sometimes, is Bart Todd, you've been working with Joey for how long?
I've been working here about 12 years.
And at Richard Childress Racing before that, how long were you with Richard?
Richard Childress for 7 years. Then I worked about a year or so with Junior Johnson. Then I worked with the Smoking Joe, Travis Carter team for 5 years.
And that's in the shop and on the road?
Yeah, just a little on the road when I was with Childress, but I kind of got off the road, after I moved on from him.
All right. How is working in a race shop different from working in a restoration shop?
A race shop's a lot of sparks and welding. These cars here is pretty clean where you don't have to do all that work, So
what about the timetable and the pressure to get things done?
Well, we're kind of relaxed around here, I'm getting up in age, so you just kind of bide your time,
Bart, what do you love about these cars?
I like the 4-speed and the motor in them. And of course the shape of them.
All right. What are you doing in particular with this one right now?
We'll start putting the subframe under it, which we got done, and the engine, and the rear suspension, the rear end. And I'll start on put the carpet in it. Then move on, get the dash in it, and start getting the seats and the package tray in it. Then start on the doors, getting the glass and everything in them.
This car is a 1973 Camaro Z28. We're doing it for a good friend of mine, and he's actually one of the judges at the Camaro Nationals. He's had the car for 30 plus years. It's a 73 Z28, factory 4-speed and factory air conditioning. This is the subframe and the numbers matching engine and transmission that come out of the car. We've already got the subframe done, and the motor's already been built and run on the running stand, been broke in, and it's ready for final assembly, ready to be wired, carburetor installed, and then once all that's done, then we'll put all of it up underneath the car. This is the rear end for the 1973 Z28. It's already, as you can see, it's already finished. It's done had its final paint, and it's ready for the brake lines and the brake shoes and everything on it, and but it's completed.
So we've talked about what the hardest things are to find. What's the hardest part of this restoration? I know you send the engine out, you send the car out for paint. What's the hardest thing to do and to get lined up and get exactly right when you're doing one of these?
A lot of times I found, one of the hardest things to do as far as interior, the dash, getting everything lined up, because everything's got to be just perfect. And then, of course, normally when the car comes back from the body shop, the fender's already on the car. Sometimes we remove the fenders, and then, of course, putting all the sheet metal back on, once the final assembly. But I think the dash and the door glasses is one of the two toughest ones. What do you think, Bart?
Yeah, I think you're about right on the door glass.
Yeah.
What's the sense of pride when you see one of your cars like roll across the stage and get a big award at the Camaro Nationals?
Oh, it's a sense of accomplishment. It's a big accomplishment. I mean, it's a true honor. We had a 1970 Z28 went to the Camaro Nationals in 2019, and it was judged in the Legends judging class. And of course, it started with 5,000 points, and it scored a 49.15, which that was, a big accomplishment, because the Legends judging class, and of course, we have a book now. There's 8 of us that worked together. This was a 2-year process on creating a book for the 1970 Camaro for the Legends judging class, showing everything that was supposed to be done, the correct finishes and so on, and that helps someone that's looking to build a Legend car now. They have a guideline to go by.
And those books are available from you?
They are available from us.
Okay.
They sure are.
Terrific.
And another thing too, the first generation Camaro guys did a book for the 67, 68, and they did a book for the 69 Camaro, if anyone is interested in getting into the Legends judging. Yeah.
Do people ask you to work on other cars besides early Camaro, or these second-gen Camaros, and maybe a Firebird or two?
They have asked us if we could do a Firebird, which we haven't done a Firebird. We could. I currently have a guy that has asked if I would put together a 442 Oldsmobile for him, and I told him that I would. It's currently in the paint shop, and that's going to be a different adventure, but I told him that I would.
That's great. How do people find you? Is it largely just word of mouth?
Just by word of mouth. Yeah.
The performance capability of these cars were top shelf in their day. I mean, these would run right with any Corvette, anywhere, anytime.
Yes.
Today, a brand new Toyota Camry XSE will keep up with those early Trans Am cars on the racetrack. I mean, we've come so far, but what's the appeal to getting behind the wheel of one of these?
To me, the appeal of getting behind the wheel of a 70s Z28 is bringing back memories. How it felt back in the 70s when I used to drive these cars. You got that feel is just no feel like it. And it brings back, as I said, good memories. Back from when we was 16, 17 years old. And I still say today, that's why these cars have actually become such a big demand, is people has worked, they remember these cars from back when they were 15, 16 years old. And of course, a lot of them had these cars and they ended up selling them because they were starting a family, buying homes. And now that they have worked their job, they're retired, they want this memory again.
Yeah.
And that's why they're bringing such good money today, and it's such a big demand because they're wanting these cars again.
Well, and that's what I say. Every time I hop behind the wheel, I'm 21 again.
That's it.
That's a pretty good feeling, and that's hard. There's no drug will do that for you.
That's right.
But there are these wonderful cars.
Yeah.
All right, I got to ask, because it's the biggest debate among second-generation fans, are you standard bumper or are you rally sport?
Rally sport, most definitely.
Why?
Well, I've always liked the rally sport better. It just gives it a unique look. And actually, in Haggerty, in the book, they show the value. It shows it adds 30% to the value of a car. And it's just a preference. It's really a preference, but I like the rally sport better myself. And now, if someone calls me and asks me if I know or have a 70 Z28 for sale, for example, the first thing they're going to ask me, if I have one, is it a 4-speed?
Okay.
And the next question is it a rally sport?
Yep. Wow. Well, to each their own. I guess that's
right.
That's why there's choices.
That's right.
That's cool. All right, now I got to ask you, standard bumper or rally sport?
I like both of them. I really do.
Okay. All right. Bart Todd, ladies and
I've been
gentlemen.
looking at them.
I'm a standard bumper guy.
Yeah, I like them too for bumping anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's what I kind of look at.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd rather be doing?
No.
Labor of love.
That's it.
I love that. That's
it.
fantastic.